that pretty much tells the story. The 104 for 1 between 15 and 20, and Punjab 38 for 4. Until that point in time, if you went over by over, they were actually 4, 5, 6, sometimes 10 runs ahead of where Mumbai were. But what they did not account for, of course, the wickets that they'd lost, which was the key men up front, and what Mumbai did at the back end, Pommie.
Yeah, I think what you've got to say, and it's not taking away from Mumbai, it's what Kings 11 didn't do at the back end. As you look at that game, I mean, that's just glaring at you. And you know, you look at 104 and you say, well, let's halve it. If you halve that, you're still in that game. You're still saying, well, okay, well done, you're okay, but you were going better than that. Maybe I might be being slightly unkind in saying they should go for 52 in that time, but let's put it up. Let's say 60. If they go for 6, that's a whole lot of runs less. And I'm 100% sure that as they sit in that change room, number one, the bowling group will say, well, you know, we haven't done ourselves any favors. We haven't covered ourselves in glory in that part of the game. And number two, the coaching staff, the skipper, those responsible for not getting them over the line in the 2 games they should have won, will be sitting there going, this is why those 4 points were critical.
And I think, you know, this is normally at the start of the show on My 11 Circle presents Cricbuzz Live. We give you the match summary. But the reason we didn't do that at the very outset is because the story of the game was in the comparison between where those last 6 overs went for Mumbai and where it went for Punjab. That was a story. We try and tell the story, and we've pretty much done that. But Sean, it's seeming to be a slightly familiar tale of what Punjab have done in previous years. They've looked good on paper, they've had firepower, but when you look at the points table, hang on, we should be doing better than that.
Yeah, it's, as Pommie mentioned, 2 close encounters that they've gone down, and now after 4 games you sit with that 1 victory. And I don't know if we can get that graphic up again, but it was another case in point where they didn't finish well and put themselves under the immense pressure to get started well in the batting innings. And when you actually have a look at their batting, they were 33 after 3 overs. And I was really disappointed with the way the Mumbai Indians bowled their first 2 overs in particular. I thought it was a kind of surface where if you're back of a length, just outside the off stump, you bring the slip into play, you were going to put the team under pressure. And it was very out of character in many ways from Bolt. It was a lot of short deliveries. And Patterson to start with, I think 3 or 4 of his first 6 deliveries were down the leg side. So they got off to the fly. It was 2 men that were set in. And then the next 3 overs of the power play, I think it was like 2 wickets for 8 runs. And all of a sudden, Mumbai were back in the game. So it was always going to be the challenge of the fact that the 2 openers had done so well throughout this tournament so far, that when the middle order was called upon to have a bit of a decent knock rather than just a little cameo, could they be up for it? Were they ready to do it? And I think that's where Bumrah and Chahar came good.